following video is not made for kids. Viewer discretion is advised. Hello to my subscribers, this is the Tiafangi coming to you with part 2 of my review of the Kingdom Ark, and today we're going to be taking a look at Teletraan-1 / Mainframe. So here it is in its third mode, which is the Ark's bridge. You've got a sphere shape there. I think that might be Vector Sigma, I'm not certain. Yeah, it's supposed to be Vector Sigma, and then I had said at the start of the video that you get a tiny, on the back of the box it showed that you get a teeny tiny little Optimus Prime figurine. Out of the package, that tiny Optimus Prime figurine's right here in this little bag that's taped to the side of the instruction booklet for the Ark. I'm not going to take it out because I'm afraid of losing it, but this little Optimus Prime is to show you just how big Optimus Prime is compared to the Ark, and these rectangular spots right here on top of the bridge are where you can put Optimus Prime if you want. There's 6 different locations. So yes, the Ark is one massive starship compared to Optimus Prime. So I just love how they included a Vector Sigma right there on the bridge edge. I don't know if it's detachable or not. I'm not going to try and pull it out. But one nice thing here about Mainframe is that when he's transformed into the Ark's bridge, most of the accessory pieces that you get with the Ark end up being stored inside of here. So here's the probe that Teletraan-1 launches when it reactivates on Earth, and it sends it out to scan the Autobots' vehicle modes. It can be a bit of a pain to get on and off, but open it up and there it is, so it's ready to go off and fly around and scan vehicle modes for the Autobots. And then the other accessory pieces are actually stored right underneath the bridge itself, which are the 2 golden discs. And I love how they store in here. So you got one here, and then you got the other disc here. The sides that you fold them on, they both say Sounds of Earth. But then on the insides of it, you got the 2 separate golden discs from the Beast Wars cartoon. You've got, I believe this is the Earth one, and this is the Cybertron one. And I love how one of the hieroglyphs is a pyramid with the all-seeing eye. I just love that nod there. And yeah, you got these are the same hieroglyphics that were used on the poster image for the Kingdom line. And as I said, one of these discs is the exact same disc that comes with a Kingdom Pterosaur. I apologize for not having that out. I put Pterosaur or his golden disc away so I wouldn't lose it. But yeah, there's a nice storage for the golden discs in there as well. Oh, and so yeah, pretty much the bridge, it sits in a special space inside the Ark when it's when you have the Ark transformed into spaceship mode. And to show off that space right here, to get it in, you have to whoops. So this is one of the problems that collectors have had with the Ark, is that to start to transform it, you have to very carefully separate these panels here in the front, and unfortunately they pop off at a moment's notice, these 2 bottom panels. And then first thing you have to do is you want to open up the nose cone, and then that'll leave you free to hopefully, without those panels falling off, you can open up the entire front section of the Ark. And here's the space that Teletraan-1 sits in when it's the Ark's bridge. So you want to have this wall facing the front. Or no, I'm sorry. You want it facing towards the back of the Ark, and that's how it stores. And you want this wall facing towards the back of the Ark, where the spire is located, because Optimus Prime's captain's chair can look out the Ark's bridge window right there. Here, so that's a pretty nice, neat storage space for Teletraan-1 when the Ark is transformed into its spaceship mode. So without further delay, let's get this actually transformed into Teletraan-1 and take a close look at the Autobot supercomputer. Alright, and so before we actually show Teletraan-1, I almost forgot, since this is the last Kingdom figure that I'm reviewing, and the previous Kingdom figure I reviewed was last year in 2021. Here's the collector card that my copy of the Ark came with. I was hoping it would have been another copy of the Ark, but alas, it's Dinobot. And underneath it's got the picture of Dinobot in his Velociraptor mode surrounded by the other Predacons in there, beast modes as well. So here is Teletraan-1 transformed into supercomputer mode, and it's really incredible how accurate it is to the G1 cartoon. You've got on some of the computer screens, you've got Vector Sigma in the key, you've got the Ark itself, along with image of the Last Autobot's head sculpt. You got a map of planet Earth, along with some other readings, and of course you also got the image of the Matrix. Got some energy readings right there. Got some buttons. You got some more control panel buttons right here. Here are schematics, and I love the sculpted detailing on here. You got monitors, you got control pads, you got keys, you got intake vents, and it's display panels. So yeah, this is pretty accurate to how Teletraan-1 looked in the G1 cartoon show. Unfortunately, you could argue that this is some sculpt detailing on the sides of it, but turning around to the back, there really isn't a backside to Teletraan-1. It's just a mainframe, aimed with a bunch of panels folded outwards to form it. But I do enjoy this Teletraan-1. This is the first ever Teletraan-1 figure that I've added to my own Transformers collection, so I'm just thrilled to see that there. So without further delay, now that we look Teletraan-1, let's take a close look at Mainframe. Alright, and so here is Mainframe transformed into his robot mode, and as far as his physical appearance goes, he is really accurate to Mainframe's appearance in the G1 Marvel Comics. The only difference is that here he's mostly yellowish orange with gray highlights to match up the Ark and Teletraan-1's paint job. Whether or not Hasbro and Takara Tomy will ever release a Mainframe figure that has his mostly red and bluish-gray paint job from the G1 Marvel Comics is uncertain at this point, but he is a fairly decent-sized Transformers figure. He's in between the size of a Voyager class and Deluxe class figure, although with the way Transformers figures are downsized, he is the size of a current Voyager class figure. For a size comparison with another Transformers figure, just because this one was close by, here he is next to Netflix War for Cybertron Trilogy Alita 1. I brought her out because I'm hoping to get around to reviewing Legacy Alita 1 soon. But yeah, there's a size comparison with another Transformers figure. So yeah, Mainframe is the size of a Voyager class figure. Pretty much the only gripe I have with Mainframe is that the panel section for the Ark's bridge, it sits down really low, so it looks like he's wearing a superhero cape instead of an actual backpack, but that's just a minor gripe because it doesn't really interfere too much with his articulation. His head is on a swivel joint, even though it feels like a ball joint, or he can look left and right 360 degrees, and I don't know how my camera's picking up, but he does have some nice orange light piping there on his helmet. And if you hold it up to a bright enough light, it does shine through really well. The arms have the potential to rotate 360 degrees at the shoulder, but you do have to move his arm out of the way to spin it backwards. They can go inward and outward at the shoulder, almost up to 90 degrees. A swivel joint at the elbow, so the arm can rotate at the elbow clockwise and counterclockwise 360 degrees. You can kind of fold the arms down at the wrist, but that's mainly a transformation joint. Because he does have a waist swivel, technically, due to how you have to rotate his legs at his waist 360 degrees to get him from Teletraan-1 mode to robot mode. But unfortunately, again, the cape gets in the way of that. One of the nice decent things about the cape is that you can store the golden discs inside there while Mainframe's in robot mode. The arms can, if you can get the arms out of the way, is what I was trying to say. The legs can go like here, so Mainframe has the potential to do a beyond splits. The legs can go forward that far. They have the potential to go back just as much, but again, this cape is there blocking backward motion of the legs. You got swivel joints in the thighs, eyes, hinge joints at the knees, and the feet. They're on swivel joints because you have to rotate his feet around 180 degrees to get him transformed into robot mode. But that rotation joint out of the box is very stiff. But if you wanted to, you can have Mainframe have his toes pointing inward and outward away from himself. And you can, there's also a hinge joint right there, so you can get him into a sprawl-legged pose if you desire. So yeah, even though the waist joint and the backwards movement of his legs are limited, Mainframe does have a pretty standard amount of articulation for a Voyager class size transformer. So thank you for watching part 2 of this review of the Ark. We've looked at Mainframe, AIM/Teletraan-1, and all the Ark's accessory pieces. Oh yes, I almost forgot 2 of the accessory pieces that the Ark comes with. You get these blast effects, so if you want to, you angle Mainframe's hands down. If you want to fold away Mainframe's hands, which is where they get stowed away when he's in his other modes, you can put the blast effects here and make it look as though Mainframe is shooting lasers out of him like a GoBot. So that's pretty neat to see that. These are the only 2 blast effect weapons that come for the Ark. I think it would have been better if there had been 4 of them, one for each of the Ark's 4 main engines, but even with just 2, it's still pretty nice to see. These are the same blast effects that were originally used on a Siege Commander class Jetfire. They were also used on Titan Class Earthrise Scorponok, but unlike Jetfire and Scorponok, the blast effects are done in blue plastic instead of orange. But yeah, that's all of the accessory pieces that the Ark comes with. Comes with the Pro. You got the probe, you've got Mainframe, who transforms into Teletraan-1 and the Ark's bridge, and of course you've got the golden discs which are stored right in there. So overall, oh, I had it backwards there for a moment. So overall, the Ark does come with a pretty decent amount of accessory pieces for what you get. So thank you guys all so much. Hopefully one day we might get an individually released Mainframe figure done in his original G1 comic book colors. So thank you guys all so much for watching part 2 of my review of the Kingdom Ark. Next up, we will look at the Ark itself. So thank you guys all so much, and until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, transform and roll out. Goodbye, everyone.